The next question is, how has your health affected your husband? So Alex is amazing. He has been amazing. At the time that we first started dating, I had just gotten through the whole health thing that I went through in 2002 to 2004, which was, finding out about the arrhythmia and my thyroid problem, and I had the chronic highs and fatigue and shortness of breath and stuff. I had just started to get over that. I had just finally gotten rid of the highs before I met him. And so when he saw me, I was just kind of maintaining the thyroid condition and the heart condition. A few months into our relationship, I had tried to wean off the medication for the hives to see if they were completely gone, and had a big relapse of the chronic hives, which was awful. And he was totally amazing during that time that I was dealing with that. And then just after our 1-year dating anniversary, I had an ablation done on my heart to try and get rid of my irregular heartbeat permanently so that I wouldn't have to continue to take medication. It didn't go well. They couldn't get it, but he was there through like the whole thing, the whole day. He was there with me. He, he was feeding me my lunch afterwards, because I was not allowed to move at all because they had to go in through an artery in my groin. And for 7 hours I had to lay flat, and I was not allowed to move at all, so that I didn't bleed out. So, I couldn't really eat, so he fed me my sandwich, and I mean, he was great. And this was all in the first year of us dating, so I knew he was a keeper. But like I said, after that, I was fine until right after we got married. And it's been like hell since then, especially like our entire first year of marriage was like out the window, because I was in excruciating pain 24/7. And it's pretty much gotten to the point. So, because like really I think it was actually just a couple of days before my wedding, or maybe a week before my wedding, that my joint started to act up a little bit. Not horrible, but a little bit. And I do remember being in some pain the day before my wedding. And I was in quite a bit of agony, actually, by the end of our wedding day, because of all the dancing and, being on my feet basically the whole day. And so I think maybe all of that threw me into this flare. And then on top of that, from there, we went right to Paris, where there's like a huge time difference, huge jet lag, and we were going to like 3 places a day, lots and lots and lots and lots of walking. And yeah, so by the time we got back from Paris, I was starting to experience really bad joint pain, and it just spiraled downhill from there. So yeah, like I would say probably like within a week of us getting married was when I started to get sick. Okay, how does your family deal with your sickness? They just always ask how I am. My side of the family, they know that I tend to, when they ask me how I am, I tend to downplay the severity of my symptoms, and my family is aware of that. And like, Alex's side of the family, they pretty much do the same thing. Like, they just always ask how I am, and I find my side of the family was extremely willing to educate themselves on lupus when I was diagnosed. They all, you know, took pamphlets and books that I got from the Lupus Foundation and read through them all and, you know, really educated themselves on it. Alex's side of the family, I don't feel really did that. But, you know, I'm not blood related, so it kind of makes sense. And yeah, I kind of just think that some people downplay it, or, you know, they don't really realize how bad it is. I don't really know what else to say about that. Did you have any autoimmune symptoms as a child? No. I was actually an extremely healthy child. I would maybe get a little cold in the winter time, probably not even every year. Like, honestly, like, sometimes I would go years without even getting a flu. And usually, like, when I would get a flu or a cold or whatever, it only lasts like a couple days and I'd be good. I was really healthy. I was really active. I know I had mentioned in another video that I watched a lot of TV as a kid, but even at that, like, I was very active. I was always outside playing with friends. Whenever I would go over to my grandmother's house, you know, I would take swimming lessons at the neighbor's house. I would always go to the park, play on the swings, on the playground. We didn't have room to store a bike at my apartment where I live. So my bike was at my grandmother's, and every time I would go there, I would, you know, ride my bike. I got into jazz class, jazz dancing class, baton class. All throughout high school, I was in the musical theater program where I did tons of dancing every day, singing, acting, you know, like, yeah, and I even took an extra class, like a dance class, specifically a dance class in high school, where like every day we would have like an hour or like a half-hour warm-up, which was like vigorous aerobics exercise. And, you know, yeah, I would get your muscle pain after having exercise, but it wasn't anything, you know, horrible. And so the only thing that I did have was like when I was 14, I think I was 14 or 15, my knees, my right knee started to swell up and get stiff and sore. And then next thing you know, my left knee started to do the same. And I went like a few months in agony, barely able to walk with that. And I was diagnosed as having juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. But up until about 14, 15, when the stuff with my knees started, I was healthy. I was good from the time I was a kid, like up until whatever. Yeah, I mean, I had colic as a baby, but that was it. Like, I was healthy. Oh, and I was also born with a clubbed foot. So yeah, I mean, I don't think that's autoimmune, but, you know, the arthritis thing is. And I mean, it was well managed with medication. I just took naproxen for I think like a year, and then it disappeared, and I was fine after that until 2002. So, which would have been, I don't know how old I would have been then. I probably would have been like 20 something. So yeah, I really didn't have anything as a child. What are your favorite quotes? Oh, one is music is the speech of angels. I love that. Another one is people only make fun of what they don't understand. Those ones really stand out in my mind. I also love the love is patient, love is kind quote from Corinthians. for some reason I can't remember the whole thing off by heart right now, but it's one of my favorite things, and we had it read at our wedding ceremony. Some of them were ones that I put on my Altered Canvas trio, like Know Who You Are and Do It on Purpose. And the other one, oh, it's the one that's like dance as though no one's watching, sing as if no one's listening. I don't know, like, I can't think of the whole thing, but those are some of my favorite quotes. Have you had a significant reoccurrence of the hives which developed after the black henna tattoo? No. Oddly enough, a couple of months before I got the diagnosis of lupus, like I was diagnosed with lupus in April 2010. In January 2010, I had some hives come up on my chest and my shoulders and my back, and I think there was some on my neck, but they weren't as bad as they were when I had them head to toe. And it was really bizarre because they would only come up in the evening for a couple of hours. I would pop an Arius tablet, and they would disappear. And this only lasted a couple of days. And then I haven't, knock on wood, haven't had any since then. Someone says, I forget who said this, I have another problem with heat, sunscreen, and sweating. Heat makes me sweat a lot on my face and my head, which causes sunscreen to seep into my eyes, which then causes my eyelids and corneas to swell up. Has this ever happened to you? No, I don't think so. I may have gotten sunscreen in my eyes sometimes, which burns, but my eyes generally sting and burn here and there because I have dry eye. Do you take any probiotics? And if so, what brand or strains? No, I don't. I don't think I do. I don't know. I don't think I do. I only take a multivitamin, and I take calcium and vitamin D supplement. So yeah. What craft or hobby activity do you find the most relaxing? I find pretty much all of my hobbies relaxing. Singing is probably my number one. It always has been. I find it's freeing. It releases my stress. So that's relaxing. And then second would be reborning. Not the rooting part. Don't like rooting the hair. I don't really find that relaxing because I can't get in a comfortable position and my hands start cramping up and it takes forever and I'm impatient with it and hate rooting. The painting part, love the painting part. That part is so relaxing for me because I'm so focused on painting. I don't think of anything else. I find it like a meditation kind of thing. It's great. And then I would say third would be scrapbooking. So, or sorry, no. Third is not scrapbooking. I would say third would be playing with my dolls. Just holding one of my dolls totally calms me down and relaxes me. Just like holding a real baby. I find holding a real baby relaxing.